Right, I'm here with James, and the Goodison curse, I'm happy to report, is now ended, courtesy of a sublime 69th minute shot, side foot shot by Leandro Trossard. But James, looking very happy. What's your initial thoughts on the game now it's all over?
That it's a crucial 3 points because there's something about Goodison that, I like to do my tactical insight, but there's some things that aren't explained by stats. Why does it always feel like Goodison is important? I don't know why. When we lost last year at Everton, it wasn't the end of the world. We still had a nice cushion. We were doing fine. But there was this feeling of, but title winners tend to win here. And I can't explain that. I genuinely, some people might be in the comments going, what a load of nonsense. But it just feels that way sometimes. So to get there and be on the right side of, I suppose, history with that is good. To finally win and get 3 points. We've seen clubs like, Man City go 5 for 5. Tottenham get 2 late goals. I think it was important that we replied with something that was somewhat spectacular of our own. It's not 2 goals in the 98th and 100th minute. It's not a comfortable win at West Ham, which is impressive. But it was grinding something out in a way that people would have thought banana skin for Arsenal, and actually Arsenal were in total control. And it's my favourite performance of the season. It's also a performance that I liken it to the 1-0 win at Leicester last year. Dave Jordan, if you're watching this, always in the comments of our live streams, and we always used to kind of, when we'd be live, he'd always joke with me that, why do I love that Leicester performance so much, and other games where we've won 4-0 or 4-1, I'm not as complimentary of. I think there's something to be said for control where you're not just creating a lot of chances. And let's have it right, Arsenal created plenty of chances to win the game today. So I'm not worried about that. But it's the fact that we let nothing go the other way. In football, it's so easy to look brilliant going one way, but to do that and be expansive, you're leaving yourself wide open. Arsenal are starting to, and it looked like today better than ever, find that balance between, we're going to create enough chances to score maybe a second, third. Okay, it didn't happen today. But we're going to make sure we don't touch our goal. And they really didn't. David Raya made his debut. Can't think of anything he had to do. Claimed some good crosses. Passing looked very, very reassured on the ball. But otherwise, in terms of actual shot stopping, nothing to do. And that's credit to Arsenal's team performance.
Absolutely agree with pretty much everything you said there. Now, you mentioned David Raya. I was going to ask you. That was going to be my next question, actually. So 4:29, 4:30, team sheet comes out. David Raya starts. We had some hints that he might be starting. What was your views on that? Because that kind of come from left field a little bit, right?
Well, I understand that David Raya's got to get football. He's got to play. That's what Arteta kept saying before the match. He said, we've got players who are very good and they need minutes. If they're to come in when there's an injury, you can't drop them in cold. They've got to play somehow. So, okay, I'm cool with that. I understand the reasoning. David Raya, is he better than Ramsdale? Maybe, but there's a good chance he is. So I don't think, oh no, our team suddenly looks weaker because Raya's starting. I also think while it's a little bit of a gamble, because maybe you want to go with what's familiar, they'll have been training with him as well. So they'll understand him to some capacity or to some point there. But I think crucially, having the Champions League on Wednesday night, I think this was Arteta saying, Ramsdale, you got us there. We nearly got over the line in your first season, but we did last year. This is your moment, and we're going to give you that Wednesday night game at the Emirates in the Champions League. How this plays out in future, because Raya looked brilliant today and did his job. But is this the kind of situation where it's horses for courses? It's the goalkeeper that maybe suits more what we need. But then I wonder, how much is there that different? I think it's just a case of maybe one's got slightly more quality than the other. And so when will we see Ramsdale get that game time? It might be the Cups. They're going to battle it out. I think it's fantastic. We've got 2 brilliant options.
Just pressing you on that then. So who gets the gig for next Sunday in the North London derby?
It's probably recency bias, but David Raya, because
that's interesting.
Because he's, I don't know. I mean, you could say like Ramsdale's been big in North London derbies. Actually, that slightly changed it. Away in the North London derby last year, and I can remember a couple other big saves. He has been pretty crucial in these games. Ask me after Wednesday. Okay. But
let's talk a little bit more about today. So today, then, I spoke about it earlier. Leandro Trossard, who up until the goal wasn't having his best game, has to be said. But for me, Martin Odegaard, Saka, I thought Zinchenko, Declan Rice, all guys that stood out. But for you, who was man of the match today?
Great question. I don't know. I don't know because I don't think there was like one player that was head and shoulders above everyone else. And everyone had very different things to do. Like, I thought Fabio Vieira and Odegaard did really well in terms of interchanging and trying to like do things with their wingers to create chances, getting beyond. And I thought they're at the heart of our creativity, which you expect two creative midfielders to be. Obviously, Trossard gets the goal. It's a lovely finish. He came alive, but he wasn't actually great in that first half when he came on. Saliba, Gabriel were immense. They dealt with everything. I think I'll give it to Zinchenko because he did everything. Not only did he defend when he had to, but in terms of giving us extra man in midfield and making things happen. Yeah, Saka looked nearer to his best. Yeah, I lean towards Zinchenko, but I mean, Saliba was brilliant as well. Him and Gabriel.
Yeah, I did leave Saliba out. I shouldn't have, actually, because I thought he was very, very good. I thought Gabriel Magalhaes looked good too.
They were fantastic, but I'll just give it to Zinny. He just nicks it, yeah.
And I do agree with you that pound for pound, that was probably our best performance of the season. You know, people say 1-0 away from home. You do need wins like that. Everton's always been a difficult place to come to, as we know, from our 4 out of 5 defeats there in the last 5 seasons. So it's a great day today. Do you think it sets everything up nicely for the coming week?
It has to, because there's nothing better than, win at Goodison, 2 late goals to beat Man United. So you've got a mix there. You've got the euphoria of winning a game like that. Okay, we had the 2-week break, but that will still be fresh in the minds of the Arsenal players. And then you go to Goodison, you get that off your back. You finally go and get that win. And so you come into this crucial week where I like that we have the Champions League game. I know a lot of people will think Tottenham have a week rest. It's early. We shouldn't be worrying about rest. I think it's a great, hopefully, momentum builder for the team to go, you know what, we can just not have to worry about that. We've got this Champions League. Worked so hard to get back into it. We're here. Let's enjoy it. And then that thinking time between the Champions League at Tottenham is a bit shorter. I think it could be a benefit for us. So hopefully this result and the performance, the fact that the team are really looking like they're starting to gel, is just going to carry us in the right way into what is a very big week, an exciting week.
Final question. We've got Champions League game on Wednesday. Would you make any significant changes? I mean, there are a couple of players on the periphery that have not featured much this season. You likes of Emil Smith-Rowe. I forgot his name now.
Havertz.
Not Havertz. Sorry, guy.
Nelson?
That's the one. Yeah. Do you think those
now.
guys? Yeah, it is. Yeah. I'm sorry. Sorry, Nelson. Yeah, Reece Nelson. Do you think they'll get games on Wednesday? Those two?
I think they'll get minutes. Another game where Smith-Rowe hasn't come off the bench. But overall, I don't think I'll make too many changes. I could see a handful, like 2 or 3, that are just too. I could see Kai Havertz coming back in. I could see Tomiyasu starting. I could see Ramsdale and Jesus. So those are the 4. It's not necessarily what I want, but I think that's what will happen.
And my last question, do you think that the challenge is still on? I mean, okay, we dropped points previously, but great win today. Surely we're back in the thick of things.
Yeah, and I think this was the one performance of the 5 that I think will make people go, okay, they can get back to what they were last season. So, yeah, delighted.
Shop for AFTV merch at shop.aftv.co.uk. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat, and Twitch. We've got content for every platform, so check it out.